When you have a society that is more diverse, is it actually good for the economy or bad for the economy? You hear this debate in Europe, for instance. Half the people, half the Germans, for example, say that, oh, these refugees are going to come in, they're going to take away all our resources, they are Muslims, they're different religion, different culture, they don't understand, European culture, and so on and so forth. But the other half tend to say that, this is the time to welcome them, we are human beings, we should be able to live together, in harmony with other people. And, so you have this particular debate that is going on. So very recently, there was a study done by McKinsey. And they found that companies where the senior management is more diverse, ethnically and gender diversity, your company outperforms other companies by 30%. And similarly, there are also other studies that have shown that if you are diverse, ethnically diverse, at a lower level, actually this is bad for you. Your productivity is affected because at the lower level, race, ethnic groups, and things like that comes into place and messes up things. At a macro level, diversity is good if you're rich. It need not necessarily mean that when we talk about diversity, it's only about ethnic diversity or religious diversity or linguistic diversity. These are the three diversity that has been researched on, at the moment. If you look at South Korea, which is one of those countries that is considered to be very homogeneous, but yet South Korea is doing actually pretty well, right? In terms of innovation, they're good and so on. Maybe it is possible for a country like South Korea to be homogeneous ethnically, but they might be diverse in terms of their values. So we created an index to measure values diversity. So we looked at this values diversity and tried to link this to innovation. And interestingly, we do find that ethnic diversity, for instance, is negatively related to innovation. Right? This is at a country level, a cross-country comparison. Ethnic diversity does not encourage innovation, but values diversity does. The point of the research is not to show that one mindset is better than the other. The point is there is diversity, right? So we are beginning to think that one reason why companies that are diverse tend to outperform other companies at the senior management level is not because they are ethnically diverse, but it is possible that people are quite independent in their thinking. And so they are diverse in their views. Why is it that in some countries, values are very different from another, while others, maybe the values diversity is very homogeneous? If in China, for instance, if our values are very similar, maybe that's because of our education system that tends to say, this is right, this is wrong. Just like how I mentioned just now, ethnic diversity is good if you're rich and bad if you're poor. As a country develops and becomes more developed, this is why the education system has to change as well. So while in the case of China, for instance, this rote learning method has been useful, and I've always supported this idea. It is actually good for us. But there comes a point where it no longer helps us. If we want to move to the next level, the way we learn has to change, right? So in a sense, this is one reason why I'm proud to be at CEIBS, because here we try to change that way of learning, right? Through participative learning, through discussion and so on, rather than a very lecture kind of a method. An education system that tries to make people independent thinkers result in a society where the values are also very diverse, which is actually good for innovation.